Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Week 4 special recap episode of the Run the Seam show. My name's Tyler.
Yeah, my name's Kevin. We've been
Yeah.
down in the dumps after our picks did not deliver. After, I
Mm.
mean, I shared this with my friends and family, and I went 3 for 5, which the only upside is that Tyler went 2, 6, and 1.
That push. That push
Yeah,
feels nice, I tell you what. You know what's the funniest part, and we're going to talk about the games more in a second, but the fact that an Oklahoma safety to somehow not win the spread, but just cover enough to push was the most exciting probably thing in my day. Um, but not all that aside, there was a great day of football we're going to talk about here. Obviously, our energy's a little lower than it has been, but hey, we're going to get better. We're going to learn, and we're going to come back hot next week. If you want my advice, Kev,
no, actually, well,
don't don't fade us next week.
we're due up. That's what I'm
That's
saying.
right. All right. Picks. I don't know how every spread pick that we picked for last week didn't come through, but here we are. And because we're about constantly evolving on this show, we have brought in our good buddy Jared.
Jared.
Hey guys,
Jared,
happy
yes.
to be here.
Jared is like me and Kevin, except smart. So he is going to be helping us out today.
Kevin and I.
Well, shut up. He is going to be helping us out by making a can't lose pick session. We just told him this needs to be for the NFL. Are you going to be Sunday Night Football or Monday Night Football, Jared?
Sunday Night Football.
Boom. Okay. So, Jared, what locks are you going to be giving our viewers this week?
Well, let me start by giving my credentials. So yeah, Jared here, chief NFL correspondent for the show.
That's right.
Yeah, saying it here.
Good call.
Yeah, I watch no college football, but I try to watch every NFL game. I watch breakdown film during the week, so I try to do my research here.
He's like us if we tried.
I try so hard.
So I wanted to give, since it's coming out maybe Sunday afternoon, we'll see.
Yes.
Here, give a pick that you guys can actually put in. So gonna do the Sunday night game here, Giants Chiefs.
Ooh.
Marquee matchup.
Marquee.
Someone's O's got to go.
0-2, 0-2, possible done chain, game here. But okay, let's set the scene here as far as what we think, the game script will look like. Giants defense has not looked good over the last 2 weeks. Gave up 21 against the Commanders week 1, and then just got a 40 bomb dropped on them last week against the Cowboys.
God, that was a good game.
Yeah. So the Chiefs, they still got Patrick
Everyone, before you get to the next discussion point, you're going to notice that the audio for Kev is a little bit not as good as mine.
Yeah, my bad. Our bad.
Yeah, it's actually
I
my
gotta have more
bad.
confidence in myself. Speak from the heart, from
Yeah,
the
yeah.
chest.
That being said, you'll still be able to hear me and us at different volume levels, so just bear with us. Hope you guys enjoy the discussion, and we will continue to work out our technological kinks. Alrighty, Kevin, let's get into it and talk about some games, shall we? We shall. Um, Before we get into it, though, quick shout out, Jared. Really appreciate him coming on. That dude is one of the smartest people I know when it comes to professional football. So really love the fact that he's going to be sort of popping in here from every now and then. But yeah, that being said, let's get into it. Kev, what a weekend!
Yeah, and
Wow.
there was just, I'm sure you got the feel too. Watching every game we picked, within the first 5 to 10 minutes, I had lost confidence in the picks. You know, like when
Yep.
you're watching a game, you kind of have a vibe for how they're sometimes going to play out. Like whether it was the blocked punt that Indiana got on Illinois,
Yep.
or it was just Utah's offense completely stuttering and punting.
And the worst part about it is like you get into these headspaces in the games when you're like still mind convincing yourself that there's a possibility and you're coming up with the most obscenely fanatical like way that it can still happen. Like,
The whole time, just not believing your lying eyes.
yeah, not believing the fact that it's not going to happen, but like, yes, thinking to yourself that for whatever reason, Nebraska is going to score 2 touchdowns and then get an onside kick within 5 minutes left of the game.
To be fair, that Hail Mary they got at halftime.
Oh, that was one of the highlights of the week. My God. And folks, just so you know, we're gonna do this a little bit more freeform today, so feel free to just plug this into your audio. No real need to look at the visuals, if I'm being honest with you. Um, but yeah, no, Kev, let's just dive right into it. Friday night, Iowa Rutgers. Did you put eyes on that at all?
I was watching mostly Oklahoma State Tulsa,
Oh,
but
oh,
uh,
Gundy.
somebody we've grown up watching.
Yep.
Um, but
You
yeah,
know,
Rutgers Iowa was a
it,
that
it was a it was kind of a dueling banjo match to start, but I do have some notes, so keep talking about Mike Gundy for a second.
well, and if anybody was watching that game, you know they had two tries at a Hail Mary. Honestly, if anybody was watching, to reiterate, on their first attempt, there was a very clear pass interference in the end zone. Tulsa defender just
Yep.
trucked the 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 Oklahoma State Cowboy.
Yeah,
But
I
you
did
know
see that. I did see that.
that's like the tush push wanting there to be false starts call. It's just when you throw the ball up in the end zone, you got to understand there's going to be shoving.
Now, and I'm so scatterbrained because of I just spent arguably the last 14 hours 21 hours of my waking life just doing nothing but watching football. But first things first, Kev. Did you notice the tush push is like the new cool drug for college football teams to be doing? I saw it being played a lot
Yeah,
successfully
especially
yesterday.
if you got a big boy quarterback.
Yeah, you got a big boy quarterback, and all the players are lining up on sides, right, Kevin? Yeah. Okay. No, one other thing I wanted to say though about that Iowa Rutgers game, the Iowa special teams was solely responsible for a 13-point differential.
Oh well.
Who blocked field goals and a touchdown to the house on a return, and their punt returner is a machine. Caden Wetjen, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, this senior wide receiver who had a house call punt return to open the game, and he almost did it again that same game. So it was potentially 20-point differential on the board just because of Iowa special teams.
Well, I'm sure anybody who didn't watch the game probably saw that score and was wondering how they got 38 points. So
Right.
thank you for filling that in.
Yeah, you're welcome. Of course, that's what I'm here for.
We
But do you want to get
covered? What else you got? Sorry.
one last
You got
point?
one
No,
more.
Kev, this is all we're talking about. We're going free form.
doing
Let it happen. We're talking, okay? We're going through the sequence. Let me go back to Mike Gundy. Um, because I want to also talk with you. My bold take, and I know you let me run the Twitter account, and you don't have a login info yet. You're probably never gonna get it. But I did say my bold predictions for this week. Hot seat. Gundy. Dabo.
Mhm.
Napier. And then there was one other that I'm missing. Crap. Okay, keep talking. Say something,
All
Kevin.
right. So we are going to go into the Utah Texas game, 10 a.m. start time over there in Utah. And yeah, I mean, as we alluded to earlier, the Utah offense just could not get things going. And then eventually Texas Tech started finding their rhythm on offense. I think this was, their first legitimate defense they went up against in the Red Raiders offense going up against Utah. And yeah, it took them a couple quarters, but they ended up putting up what 34,
Yeah.
and then their defense really just shut down
Yeah,
Utah's
dude.
offense.
How about the beginning of that game when it was back to back to back to back defensive turnovers? And when I
Yeah,
say defensive turnovers, you had fumbles and interceptions, and then like
I think
that.
also a fourth down stop,
Yep, that's
maybe.
right, dude.
Yeah,
And it like I remember thinking to myself because I had the over, and that was like one of the only bets that I had that actually hit yesterday. And I remember seeing the first touchdown be within 3 minutes and thinking, well, this game's over.
yeah,
And then just defense, 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 and it was wild, but it was so much fun to watch. That being said, you also did you? I kind of wasn't paying attention. I'm not gonna lie to you, Kev. Did you talk about Beren Morton going out?
no,
Yeah, so Beren Morton went out. That kind of was what most people would think was going to be like the turning point in the game, I would say. But then, you had what was the kid's name? Not Will Hammond. He came in as the backup, and he was doing pretty good. The one thing that Texas Tech sideline really should have had planned better for is to have had a silent cadence towards the snapping the ball because there was a lot of I don't know if you saw like false starts
all
happening,
switches from early on.
miscommunicated snaps. I think the Utah crowd was definitely trying to get in early on, so they were making them kind of a non-factor when it came to snapping the ball. So that's one thing they should have worked on. Okay, but that being said, I don't think Utah's a bad team. I think Devin Dampier did not look nearly as good as he's looked in the other ones, but Texas Tech's legit. They
Yeah,
built a case for themselves to be the top dog in the Big 12,
I
I would
gotta
say,
say
right?
they're favorites right now to win the Big 12.
Yeah, got my little cheat sheet here. Just thinking about it. I mean, looking at the note, I did like what I saw from Houston, the one game of theirs that I watched. Oh, and Oklahoma. Well, no, excuse me, I'm Oklahoma State. No, my bad, my bad. I'm looking at a piece of paper. I'm not thinking when I do that. But yeah, no, I mean, if I'm looking at this, Iowa State, Arizona State, maybe, but no, Texas Tech is the dog on here.
Yeah,
So yeah, good for them. All right, next let's go to Auburn, Oklahoma.
and to any Auburn fans, that's gotta hurt.
It
The
does.
substitution issue, and
Oh,
then the pass interference, getting tackled when you have a shot at the touchdown. It is tough, and it seems like especially having watched a lot of football this weekend,
yeah.
the refereeing has been
It's
worse than
gone
I've seen
down.
it.
I've never heard of a refereeing body coming out after the game and publicly saying we got this wrong, and that's what happened in the SEC. So that should show you, like,
Yeah,
they put out like a notice saying this was the incorrect call.
sure, there's been, but the only other one that comes to mind was maybe 8 years ago when Miami beat Duke on like a
Mm,
last minute Hail Mary lateral kick return.
mm.
And after the game, the ACC came out and was like, yeah, there's like three forward passes that we missed. So
When this happens, is there any like
recourse?
recourse?
No,
No, because they're not going to change the records,
no.
right? Yeah.
I just
So
thought if it happened on the last play of the game, then maybe you could consider changing it. But that does open up a can of worms.
well, the one case study we have for that is that missed blatant pass interference when the Saints and Rams played at the
Yeah,
NFC Championship game back in was 2019, I believe. So yeah, no, they're never gonna change the record. Despite what they're saying, Hugh Freeze was rightfully so freaking out on the sideline, especially after. Especially after that one missed, illegal substitution call that they didn't call the penalty on. I heard some pundits saying that he should just man up and figure out a way to like deal with that situation. And I'm thinking to myself, he, it's a penalty. You,
yeah.
you don't have to figure out how to adjust when the offense does a false start. So why would he? Yeah, no, he's rightfully mad about
Yeah,
that. That's
and like with Hugh Freeze now, I believe that brings him to 14 and 15
oh,
at Auburn so far. But to Auburn, and I would say to your teams like Illinois, it's in one thing that makes this 12-team college football playoff just electric is
Yep.
You can lose one. You can maybe even drop two conference games.
You
Like
can.
early on, if things work out right, especially if you're in a Power Four conference, you either sneak in and get to play in the championship game, or sneak in as with the what 9, 10, 11, or 12
Yeah,
seeds. So
easily.
it makes the season more competitive. I think in October, November, just so much better for the fans.
No
So
doubt, dude.
keep your heads up.
Yep.
War damn.
War damn, maybe that's right. Talking on Ole Miss Tulane. We have yet to find who our Cinderella from the group of five is going to be this year. Now people are
Here's the
saying
friends
Memphis.
we made along the way. Memphis, they ended up beating Arkansas, right?
They did. But I was saying to you before we got on here how teams like Memphis, Tulane, and USF are a perfect example when you look at teams like Arkansas or Oklahoma State of why relegation might work with NCAA. I was but look, Tulane had moments, and Jake Retzlaff is still one of the best rushing QBs. He was still trying everything he could. The problem just came because secondary wise, like they couldn't get a move on him. And that comes on both sides of the ball. Like Tulane's secondary just could not keep up with the rush blockers, like body wise. I think I saw them one guy who was the tight end have 3 back-to-back successful blocks, just little boying all of Tulane's team. So, when you got that kind of matchup, it's like there's nothing you can really do. Like, unfortunately. But they kept fighting until the end. I guess I thought 13.5 was a gimme. It turns out it wasn't.
No, and it really gets me excited for LSU's going to be traveling to Ole Miss.
Oh yeah, that's true. We will be covering that. We have committed everybody. That game is going to be dropped on our episode that we will put out Wednesday night. So mark your calendars, okay?
Get to Michigan, Nebraska. This one I picked in my head thinking Michigan was going to win, but I thought I'd give one really true heart pick out there, and I was thinking maybe it's Nebraska. Maybe this is going to be Matt Rule's signature win in his third season. This is going to be Nebraska shaking off their demons, but they drop another one, which I foreshadowed in our pick'em video.
Yep.
Another one-score game they end up on the wrong side of.
Are we at the point now, Kev, where we can just say it's like life, liberty, Matt Rule dropping the ball against ranked opponents? Like, can we say that? Yeah, we are. I mean, it's like
he had Bud Crawford out in the Nebraska jersey, and they couldn't get it done. There were multiple pivotal plays in that game where it did just come down to the Michigan player being stronger, more athletic.
You're talking about Justice Haynes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, that kid. This was the first game that I watched for Michigan, like intently. I would say, like when we picked the Michigan Oklahoma, I think I was like I had to have it on my phone at the time, but I was intently watching this, and Justice Haynes is the real deal, dude.
Yeah.
He like best running back in the country in terms of production at the moment. I mean, there's an argument there.
Yeah.
There is.
I mean, if Underwood puts things together as the season goes on, this Michigan team could be good. And again, it's another one of those teams had an early loss that I think could still slip into the college football playoff.
Yeah, I'm about to say something that might be controversial, but I want to hear what you think about it. Raiola, is he too good for Nebraska?
I don't know if I'd say that.
No? Okay.
I don't think his pocket presence is where it needs to be to make, to like fully buy into a claim like that. I saw a lot of times where he seemed to get bumped and just collapse in the pocket. And it,
do you not think that he has that like the key situational like game awareness? Like, man, granted, most of this is coming from that 1 second on the clock Hail Mary that got into the end zone. I mean, maybe I'm just jazzed up on that. Man, that was awesome. But I do think the guy's got situational awareness, like that kind of undescribable quality that might make him more of a target potentially in this offseason. He's in his senior year, am I correct?
Say junior.
Okay.
But
well, I'll put a pin in that. I might.
No, I think if he was on a team like Georgia with all their weapons and their offensive line, and also having just a standout like running back to kind of take the pressure off you as well, I do think he would. I think he has the ability to thrive in that situation.
Yep. Yep.
I think he will make an
I think so too. We don't want to keep you guys for too long. Let's talk about this
There's not much.
slugfest.
63-10 was, man, and this was the one that when I said, you know, you start watching a game and within the first 5-10 minutes, you know
It's
you've made the wrong
I
pick.
yeah I kept on looking at that score, and I think it might have been like around like the 30 to, or no, like the 21 to 7 mark. I was like, okay.
Well, because once they got down 14-7, I believe it just watching it, you knew it was going to be an uphill battle for
Yep.
Illinois to get back in there. And then Indiana blocked the kick, got the touchdown. That seemed to be it. But this is the one point I had before this,
Hmm.
before we started recording. Is just in the age of the transfer portal, if you're making picks like this, and we should have seen this in the Alabama Florida State game after that outcome. You just cannot rely whatsoever on the prior season because I do think that last year's Illinois team would have beaten last year's Indiana team. They did not play. We're listening to some pundits talk and whatnot while we're doing our preparation. And one thing I heard CBS saying, not to name drop them, because I thought the same thing, but they were saying that Illinois' quarterback should thrive because Indiana does not send that much of a blitz. They're more
Hmm.
of a rush four, drop seven, and it seemed like they sacked 45 times.
And
It was crazy the amount
I
of pressure they got, and it's just every year's a new season.
and I'll tell you what that made me realize is that Kurt Signetti is a very like just what's the phrase I'm trying to say here? He's very adaptable when it comes to his play calling,
Yeah.
and that you're not going to be able to expect it. So I mean, and again, you look at Indiana's roster; they don't got like the most impressive, but it's kind of like I will harken back to the 2019 Philadelphia Eagles, where while the players themselves might not individually be the most statistically impressive, the combination of all of them together has really built something special down there.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, if you're an Indiana fan, you've got nothing but high hopes now for this season.
yep,
Especially, making back-to-back college football playoff appearances would be crazy. I'm
it
looking at
would
their
be.
schedule. They're traveling to Iowa this upcoming week. Another game we'll be covering. If I had to guess, the week after that, Indiana at Oregon could be
You
another
might
one.
see them again,
Could
folks.
be another one. Then second week in November, they travel at Penn State. I mean,
Talk about a gauntlet.
yeah, they do. They avoid having to play Michigan or Ohio State, but
Okay, well, yeah,
hey,
I think that Indiana's definitely in that top four conversation with the Big Ten. Um,
yeah,
easily. Looking at it, I think they're better than Michigan. Oh wait, I forgot about Oregon. I still do. I still think they're in the
luckily they
Pac-12.
play both
Um,
Oregon and Penn State, so we'll get to at
we'll have
least
enough
match them.
tests. Yes, that's right.
What's important in this week's video is we do look at our bonus pick at the bottom there. Who called
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Utah
No,
Tech
we.
0-3.
Yeah, dude.
They end up
That counts, Kev.
that counts, regardless of what we said. That counts
What?
towards our record.
Yeah, yeah. It was always good. Well,
And we predicted the over. The over was 10, and we picked over 10. We got
over
that.
10. Yeah.
But that's too. I mean, because at the end of the day, that was the last game. So even as bad as last week was, we did end last week on a hot one.
Hmm.
Hail to the Utah Tech Trailblazers. I don't know what
Not
I said.
Dixie State Trailblazers. Um, yeah, and like always, everybody, we're going to be. I'm excited about this upcoming episode on Wednesday because these are arguably like the most amount of ranked matchups we're gonna have throughout the year.
4 games too. So
Yep.
we'll be
We're going to be focusing in a little bit more. We're also going to try to get in a
another
call-in expert, another expert. Yeah. So, guys, like always, keep commenting. Any schools you'd like us to review or just, give us our 20 cents on, and we will be linking the Twitter feed down below. I got one more thing for you guys before we call. Okay, everybody, just so you know, the Run the Seam show officially has beef. Ooh,
do it.
we got beef. We have been banned permanently from the Michigan Wolverines Reddit page.
Because that was our video in that subreddit.
We spam we spam it in every college Reddit page that we follow, that we cover. So we've been thinking about it, and I think I'm ready to make this announcement. The Run the Seam show is officially Michigan hater territory.
It's us against.
It's
us
us,
versus them.
us
We're
versus
the
them.
world, they're Michigan.
That's
2023
right.
slogan. We're
Boom.
taking it.
Look for the t-shirts next week. All right. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you all on Wednesday night.